last birthday. One of them is my sister-in-law, Terry Hansen, and her partner, Paige Whitfield, who put on this event. We just want to thank them so much. I also want to thank, we thought that, 4 tables for silent auction would be, more than enough. But the closer and closer we got to silent auction, things kept pouring in and pouring in and pouring in. And we wanted to especially honor those people who had contributed. And so there is a page just set aside for all those people. 70 people contributed, not only our employees, but their families, their friends, people in the community. And so again, let's thank all these people who contributed to silent auction. I didn't think it would be that fun either. Okay. Well, anyways, I want y'all to come on up and we're going to kick off this evening. Okay, we kind of wanted to do something kind of fun and taking you guys through this kind of historical view of how community partnerships came into being, and we thought we could kind of do this nice little picture story or whatever, and then we thought, well, no, let's do a Trivial Pursuit. And so that you guys can see how well you really know some of these trivia points in the company. So we're going to just start this off. So hopefully you guys have taken time, you filled out your little thing, right? What you're going to do is you're going to mark the ones you get right, and remember one of the core values of the company is integrity, right? So don't cheat. Just go ahead, check off the ones that you got right. The ones that you didn't, bummer do. Okay? We're going to total up at the end.
It's an honor system.
Yeah. Okay.
It works for me.
Okay, so do you want me to read the first question or just the answers?
Good question.
Okay, I'm going to, no, it's like, sounded pretty deep in there to me. So it's basically the first ad that we took out, and which 2 employees of those 39 that we hired are still working for us. And the first person is Andrea Palmer. Andrea, do you want to stand up? Andrea, and I actually have a little funny story that goes along with this. Could you both just stand up, you and your husband, Jason? It's really interesting. We didn't hold this against Andrea, but when she originally applied for the job, it wasn't her doing, it was her husband's. He originally called and inquired about the job. We didn't hold that against her. And thank you, Jason, for calling. We appreciate it. Okay, the other person that is still employed with us is Doug Nett. Doug, can you stand up? Incredible thing about Doug, he has pretty much worked every Friday night of the last 5 years, running the Friday night group and the rec group, providing social skill opportunities to people with disabilities, so that's incredible. Thanks, Doug. Okay, and the next question, who was the first developmental specialist at Community Partnerships? Okay, not the worst developmental specialist, but the first developmental specialist. The answer is John Burkhardt. Okay. The next question. Let's see. Who was our first employment director? Michael Greer. That's right. Michael Greer. We wouldn't have our employment program started if it wasn't for Michael Greer. And the position that he's in now, we call him the .com guy. He's our information services director, and 2 days ago, the company's webpage and intranet was launched as a result of Michael. And tell me if I get this address right. You guys can log on tonight when you get home, but it's www.cpinet1.com. Is that right? That will be the address, okay.
Don't try it tonight.
Okay, maybe wait a couple of days, we'll get an announcement, but this is great. We wouldn't have that without Michael either. Okay, the first Home of Your Own director, Cynthia Clapper. Cynthia, stand up for a second. Cynthia started the Home of Your Own program. She's an incredible grant writer. She's written a couple of grants for us. Now she is the clinical mental health director, and we wouldn't have either of those programs started if it wasn't for Cynthia, so thank you.
Okay, the next one. When was the first camp partnerships held? The answer is B, 1996. And for the bonus question, who was the camp nurse for the last... We have the answer right. Glennis Harris, if we can have her stand, that'd be great. And I think for those who know her real name is Wendy, probably should get an extra bonus point. The next question, where was the first training summit held?
Vineyard.
The Vineyard Church is the answer.
Integrity.
Vineyard? Who said Vineyard? Minus the white camera?
Okay, the next question. Well, first of all, I'm going to give just a little bit of introduction. Many of us at CPI, Community Partnerships of Idaho, have moved around into different positions. Christy Ortman has been a therapy tech, developmental specialist. Where are you, Christy? Therapy tech, developmental specialist, employment specialist, mental health specialist, admin mental health supervisor. So, Christy has quite a reputation. You also heard...
She's at work.
You also heard Cynthia being in different positions, Michael being in different positions. But really, no one has moved around as much as Taronda. And Taronda, actually, I have to confess, it's not her choice. Some of you guys know that I have a gift of influence. It's just, you just smile and you just ask in a nice way and you just hope and pray they say yes. And if they don't, you just do it again and again and again. You can call it manipulation or influence. But anyways, Taronda has actually been the recipient of much of my manipulation. And therefore, she has always gone wherever we've asked. She's always done whatever she's been asked to do. She's gone in and started new programs. She's gone into new areas. And so let's just go through. She has the magic touch wherever she goes. She has been she's been Twin Falls Program Director. She's been 2, Service Coordination Program Director. She's been 3, Tomorrow's Hope Program Director when we had a contract with them. She's been the Camp Partnerships Program Director and the Satellite Services Program Director. So the answer is F. So this is the only thing that Taronda has not been a community partnership. But you know, tomorrow is a new day. Or, actually, I was kind of concerned because she just bought a house in Meridian. And I'm thinking that it's kind of her method of preparing when I asked her to start the program in Kellogg, Idaho. She's going to say, I can't. I own a home now, Catherine. I have roots. I'm not moving. So, the next question is, which of the following staff does not have a relative working for the company? And Idaho is a small state. So if you just lean over and touch 2 people, at least one is related. Just go ahead and do that. I'm sure that in this room right now, you're probably related to people, maybe some that you wish you weren't, but you are. So anyways, it is pretty cool when you have employees in the company that refer relatives. I mean, that's a real compliment, saying, hey, this is a cool company. We want you to come and work for us. Linda Hill is one of our admin staff, number 1, and she has a sister, Kathy, who works for us in the Buell area. And they actually didn't realize that they worked for the same company. They were on the phone talking about really cool company, this really awesome executive director, and they go, and they realize that they're working for the same company. Tina Erickson, that is the correct answer. Tina doesn't have, as far as we know, any relatives. The Ericksons primarily migrate in the Montana area, is that right? They do not move too much. They're now moving into Idaho. But anyway, so Tina's the one who does not have a relative. Chris Olson. Chris, where are you? The right team won today, right? Where's Chris? Okay, right team won today? Was that your team, BSU? Oh, bummer. Forget I brought it up. I'm glad to see you. It's going to be a fun night anyways, okay? Anyways, but Chris's daughter works for us. Dennis Sose, his aunt Zena works for us, and they are both from Bosnia. And then Chelsea Belknap actually is a second cousin once removed of mine. And I actually had, I don't know, but I had a cousin who called me and said, you know, you do know that 2 of your relatives work for your company. And I was like, no way. And so we made this connection, and it is kind of scary because the other day when I was in Twin Falls, there was a lady filling out an application. And so I was about to leave and the chalkboard was there and I thought, well, I'll write this kind of mushy thing like, man, you guys are awesome. Have a great day. Love and God bless, Catherine. And so I go out and I'm starting to pick up my stuff and this lady comes out and asks Artie, you know, was that Catherine? And she goes, yeah. And so she all of a sudden comes running down the hall and gives me this hug. And knowing me, I hugged her anyway. You know, it's like, oh, hug anyway. But anyways, she goes, we're related, I'm, you know. And so anyways, I don't know if we hired her though. That's
All right. 1997 was the year of the babies. You couldn't go to lunch in 1997 without somebody running to the bathroom. Oh my God, that stinks! And then the other person going, oh, that smells so nice. And so I used to buy a different soup every day, just to, you know, soup's up, and watch them run to the bathroom. I got a little perverse pleasure out of that. But anyway, the answer is D, more than 7. And Carrie and Christy Porter were 2 of the 7. And neither of them had that easy of a time. We started services in northern Idaho in the summer of 1999. Why? This isn't a giveaway question. To fulfill the dreams, offering services throughout Idaho. Because there were no other providers serving children in the area, one of the founders wanted to see her husband more often. Or all of the above. Well, the answer is 3. So. All of the above, sorry. Okay. Well, I didn't know that. Okay, match the event with community partnerships anniversary dates. These are only 5 of the 25 we had just the first year. John, this is the anniversary of the time I called you on the phone and we thought we'd meet over at, jeez Louise. We had like 15 of them from August to December. It's like, you know, you walk into work, what anniversary is this? You know? It's like the first time someone used the bathroom. That one was October 2nd. That's not on here. We never celebrate my milestones in the company. Okay, first day of employment. That would have been October 1st, 1995. First day of services provided, that'd be November 6th, 1995. Incorporation date, and that'd be August 30th, 1995. And creating the company vision, all of August 1995, at Catherine's house, after work, till 10. It's all right. She wasn't married at the time. Some of us were.
Thanks, John. There have been 8 employees who have met their spouses at community partnerships. Can you name at least 2 of the couples? Dave and Caleb Rubel, they're not with us anymore. Ted and Rebecca, Tom and Christy, Cameron and Sarah. This should actually be that they fell in love with their spouses at community partnerships.
Each other, thank you.
No. Okay, what is a pregnant phone? And I wish so much we had a visual aid here to show you this, because this phone really was very unique. And picture just a regular old-time phone with a big bulge right here. The high-tech answer to community partnerships' initial communication needs. A failed business venture, and we won't say who's failed.
I will. You saw me coming on that deal.
The payphones found in many Chinese restaurants. And it is all 3 of those. Now, how many of you got 15 or more right? Add them up. Hold your hands up. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3. So we've got, I see 2, and they're sitting at the same table. 3. Okay, we're going to have a drawing. 15 or 14. Okay, how many got 14 or more? Okay, all right. Well, all of those who got 14 or more correct, send your papers forward. Put your name on them, and then send your papers forward. And we're going to have a drawing, and you could win this. Doors for people to own their own homes, to get jobs, to become more independent. And as founders, there have been people in our lives who've opened doors for us and made it possible for us to start community partnerships. And we'd like to honor two of these people tonight. And they don't have a clue this is coming. Orville and June Hansen. Help us keep a healthy perspective, but they also put their money where their mouth was and signing on the dotted line. And they allowed the 5 of us to start the company and stay true to our intent to put all the money back into the company. And Mr. Hansen gave us a business model to live by: make a difference, have fun, earn a living. And we think of that all the time and try to abide by that. The birthplace of community partnerships was at their cabin in the Sawtooth Mountains. We'd like to honor you both because of your belief in us, and would like to present you with this. Now, I'd like to present you with this picture of the Sawtooth Mountains to hang in your home in Virginia as a reminder of the important part you have played in community partnerships. Without your support, we would not be here today. I'll turn it around.
Oh, you guys want to see that?
We are eternally grateful that we were there at the beginning. And our role was very minor, notwithstanding what you've been told. But to see these young people with a vision and a dream, not to just create a business enterprise that would succeed, but which would create a means of reaching and touching and enriching and improving the lives of those who are most vulnerable and the weakest, those who need help and have so often been forgotten and relegated to the shadows. And that's the inspiration of this organization. That touches and improves and gives hope and promise to those people. And it's something that multiplies over the generations. So what you have done, you cannot comprehend the final fruits of your efforts, but it will go on but year to year and generation to generation. And we are all grateful to you for having done what you have done and are doing and will do in the years to come. God bless you.
Now you know where I get it from. Actually, when we talk about opening doors, and we truly do see my folks and all of our folks really helping to open the doors when we started the company. But you know what? This room is full of the people in our lives who make it possible for us to do the work that we do. Many of you guys are in situations where probably you couldn't financially afford to work for community partnerships. If you didn't have a spouse that made it possible, most of us, without people that are there opening doors at the end of the day that just give us a hug, that sit down with us and we can tell them the story of somebody that we helped get a job that day, or maybe we had a tough day. I mean, I was talking to some of the staff out in Emmett the other day that, you can have a really tough day. And to have people who are there opening the door when you get home. And tonight, there are as many family and friends as there are employees here. And I would just ask that anyone who is here, who is a family member or friend, to please stand up for a moment.
Okay, passing through the employment area, Kathy Stink played a tape for me. She says, "Oh, you have to hear this, you have to hear this." Okay, and it was someone singing, and it was beautiful. And I was surprised to learn that it was our very own Elaine Meyer, who works in the Boise Employment Department. And I played it for Catherine, and the way she put it, and the way she says, "We've discovered a pearl in the sea of talent at community partnerships." Whatever. Elaine graciously agreed to sing for our 5-year celebration and asked Frona Erickson to join her. And Frona is another incredible talent who works as a DSA on the Boise adult team, and they'll be singing When You Believe.
Wondering if we could hear in our hearts a hopeful song we truly understood. Although we were afraid, we knew there was so much to do. We were moving mountains long before we knew we could. There can be miracles when you believe. When you believe. The hope is real. The dream is real. The dream is real. Who knows what miracles you can achieve? You can achieve when you believe. Somehow you will. You will when you believe. In that time of change, when all our dreams seemed much in vain. Hope seemed like the song of birds too swiftly flown away. Yet now we're gathered here, our hearts so full we can't explain, rejoicing in what we've become. The dream is here to stay. There can be miracles when you believe. When you believe, the hope is frail. The dream is real. The dream is real. Who knows what miracles you can achieve? You can achieve when you believe. Somehow you will. You will when you believe. Dreams don't always happen when you ask, and it's easy to give in to the fear. But when our dream had too much pain, the road we chose had too much rain, we all stood side by side. The dream was very near. There can be miracles when you believe. The hope is frail. It's hard to kill. It's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve? When you believe, somehow you will. Somehow you will. You will when you believe. When you believe, you will when you when you believe, when you believe.
So much, Elaine. This next part of the program, I want you to close your eyes for a second. I want to tell you what I really would love to do. So just close your eyes for a second. What I'd really love to do is I would love to have up here all of the people that have really been touched by your lives because of the work that you do every day. If you can picture if you work with kids, if you work with adults, if you help in the office, if you work with teens, if you work with families, if you could imagine that they would be up here right now and that they would just be honoring you, that they would just be standing here and just speaking to you and just thanking you for the difference that you've made in their lives, and that they could do that and each one of you would be honored, this would be my desire. But open your eyes. You're stuck with me. I just want to let you know that I love to honor the employees of Community Partnerships. Because if you outside folks have in other companies, they're awesome, but you know what? We're hands down. I was even talking with Elaine Myers the other day. We were just saying, you know, what a privilege to work with the people that we work with in terms of our fellow employees. I mean, we go through ups and downs, but you know what? This is an incredible team of staff that God has brought into this company, and it is such a privilege every day to work alongside each one of you. Tonight, we're going to honor 12 employees in the company, and these are employees who have been with us for 4 years or longer. They've been with us a long time, and we just thought this would be a really special time to honor them. They symbolize the entire group of employees at Community Partnerships. And again, I wish that I could take the time and recognize each and every one of you. But I do pray that you do find a home at Community Partnerships and stay here for a long time. Several of you have signed that retirement contract, and I appreciate that. But anyways, if you would turn with me to our, the second to last page, we've got our mission and our core values. And we put the mission up on this banner, which is a pretty powerful mission statement, I believe. And we just, again, up at the cabin in Stanley, we just revisited our mission statement and again, just reaffirmed that we're dedicated to creating opportunities for people to learn and achieve their goals. We also revisited the core values and just kind of checking ourselves, holding ourselves accountable. Are these the core values of this company? Are they core values that I demonstrate every day in my job? And are they core values that all of us as employees can demonstrate in our jobs? And I believe that almost everyone in this room every day exemplifies these values. The 12 people that I'm going to honor tonight, we have certificates and they've already been taken, but I'm going to just look at Linda's for a second. And I'm going to cross out the name. But what the certificate does is it's a certificate of excellence awarded to an employee in recognition and appreciation for exemplifying the core values of Community Partnerships of Idaho. And those core values are written here. We're going to go through those, and I'm going to tell you some incredible stories about these employees. When we talk about the first one, adhering to customer-driven principles, there are many employees that exemplify this. A lot of our employees look at themselves not as working for Community Partnerships, but as working for Kevin or Jody or Rebecca, whoever the person that they're helping to get a job. That's who they look at, who they're working for. And if they work in the admin department, they look at themselves as working for the employees of the company. And Peggy Town exemplifies this beyond I think probably any employee in this company. And anyone who has ever interacted with Peggy knows that. Because when you go, I see Nudge, when you go to ask her for something, she is there. And she always, I have never known a day that she has not had this positive spirit of helping out in anything that's asked. And she gets it done. And when you talk about a servant's heart, I don't think anybody exemplifies it more than Peggy Town. Make her come up. John has the certificate, is that right?
Yes.
You just pass it to her next door. I love this man.
Thank you.
One of the awesome things about Peggy too is she won't forget your name. So there's so often when I'll say, now, does so-and-so work for us? And she says, no, they left 2 years ago. Okay. All right, another employee who exemplifies this is Christy Porter. And I have to visually find Christy in this crowd, Christy. And Christy is one of those employees that you heard about had a baby in '97. She had a baby in '99 too. We're kind of figuring Chris and Christy next year. Through the years, Christy has demonstrated a willingness to serve in any way in the company. And she has been a developmental specialist, she's been a coordinator, she's been a service coordinator, she's been a program director. And through it all, every single job that she's in, she demonstrates this dedication to serve the people that she's working for. And it was really neat. The other night I bumped into a mom who I just had met for the first time. I was talking to her about, her son, and she said, well, we've received services since the beginning of community partnerships. And so I quickly, because I usually do that, quickly apologized. I said, in those early days we were so disorganized, we just really didn't have much of a clue, did we? And she looked at me and she was like, no, I had Christy Porter as my developmental specialist, and the services that we got were awesome. And as soon as she moved over to service coordination, we accessed service coordination. So she thinks that we're the most organized, professional, incredible company thanks to Christy Porter. As you can see, we have the founders kind of moving and grooving and hugging. Okay. The next core value is conducting ourselves with integrity. And it's a privilege to honor Linda Burns. And we have, whenever I've talked to people from health and welfare, people in the community about our service coordination program, they just think we have the best reputation. And they just think we are just so awesome. Well, you know why? Linda Burns started the program. She was one of our first service coordinators when we started the program. And through the years, she is the one who just exemplifies integrity. And I got to be at a meeting with her one day for one of the kids that we were serving. And I sat there and she conducted herself with such professionalism, and I thought, I want to be like Linda when I grow up. She's, wow. Another thing that's awesome about Linda is, service coordination is a role that you serve the family and you help them access the best services and the quickest services. Well, some of our competitors sometimes are quicker than us, and she has no problem referring them to them for the services because of knowing that that's what's important, to get the family the services as quickly as possible. I call that integrity, so I want to appreciate her. I was going to have this question on the Trivia Pursuit game, and see if you guys can get this right. Where are the brains of community partnership?
Right here, all around.
Good answer, Carol. Excellent answer. I would have won. I would have gotten a point. Okay, they are not here, that's for sure. You guys know that. John, we might be close there with our brains. They're going to haul this away. This is one of the silent auction things. The red Grand Am 2C00585 is about to be towed away to our next silent auction.
2 bits.
2 bits, all right, here we go. So there's some rodeo girls next door, so maybe it's theirs. Red Grand Am. Okay. Well, let me tell you where the brains are. The brains of community partnerships are in a small house in Kuna, Idaho. Where's Janine? And I've actually never been to Janine's house. It's not a big house, right, Janine? And she has 4 children, and she has one of the original desks the company purchased for $10, and a computer. And that's where Janine does all of our Medicaid billings for the entire company. And she not only does that, she handles all of our audits and all of our adjustments, all of our billing follow-up. Janine, I can honestly say that the only employee that we wouldn't have made it this far if she had left is Janine Westcott. She is an incredible employee. The cool thing, though, is that she fortunately realizes how dependent we are on her. And she, a year ago, put in her request for a week vacation to Disneyland with her family because she knew it would take us a year to cross-train someone to run our billing program. And so I just want to appreciate Janine. I also heard a neat story about you, Janine, the other day from one of the staff that said that you use your stopwatch. And that at Janine has a stopwatch, and when she's working and doing billing, she's got it going. And as soon as Jacob or one of her other kids asks for help, she hits the stopwatch because she's off the clock. And then as soon as she starts working it, and not only does she use this at home, but she has used that at the office when she works at the office. So if you see her hit the stopwatch when you ask her how she's doing, you know. Okay. Treating people with dignity. I gotta find my buddy. If you ask anyone who knows Kathy Skank what you think about her, your first response that you're going to get is they're just going to just break out in this smile. And then they're just going to proceed to tell you just how much they love her and how much they respect her. And the reason that people love and respect Kathy so much, she has been with our employment program since the beginning. And the reason that people love and respect her so much is because guess how she treats other people? She treats, whether it's a voc rehab counselor that she's negotiating with, even some of the challenging ones, or an individual that she's helping to get them a job, or an employer that she's trying to negotiate some problem solving with the job, or an employee that she's encouraging. She treats them with such respect. If you ever need a supervisor, Kathy would probably be the one. I just think that as far as treating people with dignity, that there's no one in this county that exemplifies this better than Kathy Skank. Love you, man. She said I don't hug her enough, so I'm going to start hugging her. But I once had somebody tell me that I hug too much, and so if I hug you too much, just put a little note on my door or something that says, stop hugging me, and put your initials and I'll stop. Okay. The other night I got to see Miracle Worker again, and you guys have seen that movie about Annie Sullivan and Helen Keller. And I was amazed at the end of the movie, it said that Annie Sullivan started working with Helen when she was 7 years old, and she worked with her her entire life. We have, let's see, Nancy. We have an employee, one of my dearest friends, Nancy Green, who works for us in Wendell. And Nancy works for a young woman named Donna. And Donna started school in kindergarten, and Nancy started working with Donna as an aide in the school. And she worked with her every year, except for 4 years when she was transferred to the junior high. She worked with her every year in school as her aide. When we started services in Wendell, and the family came and asked us to provide some services for Donna, they right away knew exactly who they wanted to work for their daughter, because they knew exactly who cared for her more than anyone else in the world, someone who believed in her, someone who could really make a difference. And so we hired Nancy to come as a therapy tech to work for Donna. The amazing thing is that this past June, Donna graduated from high school. Nancy retired from the school district. Not because she wanted to retire from the school district, but because Donna was moving on. And who do you think Nancy works for? Nancy works for Donna, like Annie worked for Helen. She's totally investing in her life, totally believing in her, and it doesn't matter who pays you, that's who you're there to serve. And Nancy has since, as she's left the school district now, praise God, she works for us full-time, working for Donna, and also serving as a developmental specialist assistant, helping the other therapy techs in the Wendell-Gooding area. And Donna is one that, it was really cool the other day in Twin Falls, we were at a meeting, and she put her arm around me and she said, you know, some of these kids, because you know, can I say your age, Nancy? 62, isn't that a great age? She said, some of these kids, you know, this is just a job. It's just a step, you know, doing something else. But for you and me, Catherine, it's our career. And I love that. So, Nancy Green. Genera Toy is another exceptional example of this, and Genera is unfortunately not able to be with us tonight, and she is our first therapy tech in Mountain Home. And Ron, where are you, Ron? Ron, we're going to be down, there's a team meeting on Monday, and what I'd really like to do, we're going to have some coaches here, some big buses, and I just want everybody to go with me down on Monday at 5:30. We're going to drive down to Mountain Home. We're going to present this to Genera so that she knows what it feels like to be appreciated by over 200 people for making a difference in people's lives. So, anyways, I wish she could be here, but she is someone too that has worked for the school district and works with some of the most challenging kids in the school district and just loves the kids, loves her work. And we've been so blessed to have her working for us as a company. And as working as a therapy tech in Mountain Home, she is one of those people that doesn't matter who needs the services, she is there to work for them. And it's wonderful to watch. If you ever want to pick up the best tips, watch Genera. So it'll be fun to go down there on Monday and honor her. The next value is encouraging innovation. And this is pretty much a core value at Community Partnerships because, boy howdy, you better be creative. You know, whether you're helping to teach someone how to count change, or how to go shopping, or helping someone to have a perfect match in terms of a job, or helping to understand their disability, their mental illness, you need to be innovative. You need to be looking at the best way to work for that person. And although we have many, many people that exemplify this, there's one person that is probably the queen of innovation, and that's Frona Erickson. Almost every year, Frona leads a session at the training summit called Best Tips for Techs. And she brings together some of the best techs in the company. And they present on all kinds of ways of training on skills. You also heard her today, already once, and you're going to get to hear her again. She actually was one of the Ericksons that helped rewrite the words to On Top of the World. If you've seen her at camp, she'll dress up as anything you want her to. Almost anything you want her to. So anyways, in terms of encouraging innovation, we just want to honor her. Supporting continuous learning. You've heard of a lot of people who have switched from job to job. But one of the most challenging things is when your job is the job that changes. It keeps changing and changing and changing. It grows and grows and grows. And with a company like ours, when we started out, bookkeeping was pretty simple. You wrote a couple checks, and that was it. And you kind of marked them down, and we did this. So this was bookkeeping. But bookkeeping has grown. It is such a huge job. And this learning curve, in terms of all of our financial, processes, falls in the lap of Karen DeRozier. And Karen has done this incredible job just sticking it out, learning everything that she needs to learn. If there's a new software program that we bring in, she learns it. If there's a new grant that we got that we have to build, she'll learn it. If there's new private billing we need to do, she'll learn it. She just learns so much. The most challenging thing is she has to work with me, and I'm slow, so that is probably one of the biggest challenges in terms of dealing with how the company's grown and how challenging her job is. But she exemplifies it. She's committed to learning no matter what. So thank you, Karen. When Doug Nett was first interviewed by Lisa back in early 1996, she was asking him about his experience working with people with disabilities. And he basically said that he didn't really have much. But he said he was really open to learning. And you heard us mention Doug earlier this evening because he is now one of the most respected therapy techs in the company in terms of his commitment and willingness to learn, no matter who he's working with. He learns how best to reach them, what a difference he can make in their lives. And I've had a chance to work with him at camp and just see it firsthand, and he is probably one of the neatest men I've ever met. One of the cool things about Doug is his commitment to learning, and he's about, are you about my age, Doug? No, okay. And when he started, soon after he started with Community Partnerships, he decided to go back to school. And you are going to have in our midst, come June this next year, one of the, I'm sure, premier social workers in the state. So, in Burley, Idaho, people don't know Community Partnerships of Idaho. We have services there, but they know this company called the Carlina Logan Company. Carlina started working for us in 1996, and she started working for a young man named Eric. And it's been really tough in Burley. We've actually had 2 offices so far. We've opened them and closed them, opened and closed. We right now don't have an office in Burley. We've had 2 developmental specialists that have been based in Burley. Again, we don't have a developmental specialist there. But you know what we do have? We have Carlina. And it's because of Carlina that we have been able to continue to provide not only developmental services, but over time we've said, Carlina, how do you feel about learning employment? Learning how to provide employment services, learning all about vocational rehabilitation. And she's been willing to. It's that commitment to continuous learning. And so now we have actually a very strong employment program in Burley, and the developmental program, it's okay if they never know Community Partnerships. It's okay if they just know it as Carlina Logan Company. So Carlina Logan. And the last core value is demonstrating financial responsibility. And actually, this last employee could be honored for all of the values. And I think because if I were to ask any of you guys, what value would you want to recognize Cameron Watson for? You would come up with, you'd pull from this list. You'd list them all. It's really interesting because some people know who I am in the company, and then some of them forget me. But Cameron Watson, everyone in the company knows Cameron, and no one forgets who he is. He has such a reputation because when he works, whether it's he's out recruiting at a job fair, or he's teaching CPR and first aid, or he's running any kind of training program, or he is running one of the big projects that I've given him and asked him to do, I've influenced him to do. He exemplifies just the respect for others, a commitment to the company, just core values that I just think, when, you know, if people can think of Cameron Watson when they think of community partnerships, I would be so honored. And he's also someone, he had a business of his own once, and so he's someone that when I'm feeling kind of weary, I know that I can go to him and he can kind of put his arm around me and just be such an encourager in terms of how we can run this company and that we are making a difference and that it is working. And so then I'll get all pumped up and I'll go out again. And I think many of you guys have found him, that he's probably one of the best cheerleaders for this company of anyone. So honoring Cameron Watson. So I look forward to kicking off these values appreciations through the years and honoring all of you guys in the future. Our next song is going to be introduced by Lisa.
Thanks, Catherine. Okay, we're going to switch gears a little bit. John has called us Tears Are Us before, and I'm over there. I have the privilege today of introducing the Erickson sisters, Janae, Brona, Taronda, and Sheila. And many of you know that my family and the Erickson family grew up in the same wonderful small town of Libby, Montana. Yay, Libby! And actually, the parents of the whole Erickson clan are here today, Dallas and Jenny. And Dallas is videotaping me right now, so I'm hoping that you can stand up for a second. And also, they brought with them 2 more of their kids, and it looks like a grandkid, Spencer and April. Almost 50% of their kids work for our company. They have a big family. And I'm hoping, just put in a little plug here, that both April and Spencer will fill out applications before they leave. You're about working age now, right? Cool. So with that, I think these folks are almost ready. Now, remember, when you see what they look like, this is not what people from Libby look like. Okay? So, Janae, Brona, Taronda, and Sheila Erickson.
Hi, y'all.
Sure.
1, 2, 37. Such a feeling's coming over me. It's amazing that it's been 2 years plus 3. It is now coming true. Everyone, can you see? And the reason is clear. It's because you all are here. You're the heart and soul of this company. We are a dedicated company working all together, helping people to reach and meet their goals. With their jobs and careers, dealing with problems and fears, there's been smiles, grins, and even a few tears. CPI was born and out we came. And we're all so glad we're on the road to fame. Did our jobs with ease, but it's not always a breeze. There's so many great things in this company. Now we have the founders on our minds. To create this company, they were inclined. But this vision you see is bigger than dreamed to be. It's reflected on the people that are here. You're a dedicated company working all together, helping people to reach and meet their goals. With their jobs and careers, dealing with problems and fears, there's been smiles, grins, and even a few tears. We are a dedicated company working all together, helping people to reach and meet their goals. With their jobs and careers, dealing with problems and fears, they all hope to be around for many years.
I tell you what, I got a deal. Anyone that has 4 family members or more can perform at every one of our award dinners.
I quit.
All right. The next one, John, are you ready?
Yes, I'm. Silent auction. We were able to raise $2,090.50. All the items have to be paid tonight. We'll take checks, but we prefer cash. You can pay me or pay someone at the desk over there. Oh, we're going to pay you, Pam? See, she always gets the money. Okay. I'm not going to say the amount that these things went for, but just what they are and who won. Deep fried turkey, that went to me. But they have Jane Williams down instead. Home decorating package, Lisa.